Right. Yo, what's up, podcast? Episode 3, dude, already.
Yeah, on Trace, dude.
Yo, that's crazy.
Number 3, dude. What's up?
Man, I just brewed us some fresh coffee. Did you taste it yet?
I know that, yeah.
Taste it. You got a cheers coffee too, right?
I feel like I never know how to hold the cup when I'm drinking coffee.
It's hot, dude.
Yeah.
You got the tiny, teacup,
I got
too.
the little teacup. Dude, I'm not really a big hot liquid drinker.
No?
No, I don't know. I've never really been too
Man,
much.
I drink coffee every single morning.
Are you one of those people that have to have it?
Every day. It's like part of my whole ritual routine. Like,
Yeah.
I wake up and first thing.
Is it
really.
because of what's in it, or is it because it's just that you're used to having it?
I don't know. I'm sure I'm probably slightly addicted to caffeine, but some day, like the days that I don't randomly, I'm still okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not fully addicted, but it's nice, man.
That's how
It's a great way to start your day.
That's
I'm a
how I
big
felt like
coffee
I
guy.
was whenever I had Mountain Dew, I was just like, it's probably
dude.
that's probably the mullet speaking, but I was like, man, I gotta have my Mountain Dew.
My
Don't-
Mountain Dew.
Yeah, don't talk to me till I have my Mountain Dew.
I drank me 2 liter Mountain Dew. It set my mouth on fire. You seen that?
Yeah, was that chili? That's some chili so hot.
Yeah, I eat a chili so hot. I drank me a 2 liter Mountain Dew.
That video was so crazy, dude. They were like, everybody knew how much I was into Mountain Dew. They're like, how come this is you? And I was like, that literally isn't me. Just the fact that I used to, but then I started having some heart problems. And
Yeah,
stuff.
that shit's.
I don't even drink energy drinks anymore. I get people that I work with and like, I have to have my Monster.
Yo, I was at the
Bang.
skate park all day today, and this little kid was just chugging a bottle of Pepsi, a 2 liter of Pepsi, in between skating, chugging the 2 liter of Pepsi. I'm like, how are you able to still go skate? And then they're all cracked out and they're talking about how their stomach hurts, and I was like, yo, your stomach hurts because you've been chugging that Pepsi. I was literally yelling at him, you need some water.
I found
calm
myself
down.
Do you do that? Because I found myself, I went to the skate park, I got my board all set up and everything. I was like, man, I'm gonna go skate again,
Dude.
put my old ass out there. Dude, I'm like, the father in me gets out there. I'm like seeing these kids with these,
They go hard.
Yeah, it sounds crazy because I was on the phone. I was like, man, this kid's got big old balls. And it's like, that's probably not the thing to say these days. Like, there's like, look at that kid with the big balls.
I think you just can't really worry about it too much.
And it had nothing to do with seeing his pants and bulge. It has nothing to do with that. It was just the fact that these dudes were these little kids, younger, just all go, hopping off stuff and doing ollies and kickflips, and doing these crazy tricks. I'm like, dude, I'm over there just lucky if I rolled down the I thought I was losing my mind because there was one of those little quarter the little ramp thing. I was
quarter pipe.
Yeah, quarter pipe. I was rolling down. I was like, hell yeah! And these dudes yep. And I'm like, what? And then they would
kids
fall.
go hard.
Yeah, and they would fall and hit themselves or hurt themselves, and I'd run over and pick them up like, you okay? He's like, just give me my Pepsi. No, it's all that sugar, dude. That's not good for them.
They're
man.
cracked out.
That's what's crazy, man. I see people doing that. I'll see kids at the store sitting in the cart, and moms would be like, they'll be throwing a fit or whatever. Here, they'll hand them one of them big old things, 2 liters of Dr. Pepper.
I think that's a big thing in the South too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just getting that Dr. Pepper.
Just Mountain Dew and I don't know.
Yeah,
People just drink it. It's
these kids
pure
are,
corn syrup.
Yeah.
If you saw the amount of sugar
man,
in that shit, maybe you would still drink it, but
that's probably
it's
making
gnarly,
yeah,
dude.
We're probably making people thirsty right now.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah, just licking their lips
do what you want to do, but
yeah.
Damn.
But what's been up, man? What have you been doing, man?
Dude, I've been at the skate park all day.
Oh, that's all.
I've been going hard. I started rollerblading again.
Yeah,
and that's been my thing really lately. It's my exercise. I've been killing it. My legs are like jello right now.
Yeah.
Literally before you got here, I just pulled up from the skate park.
Do you think that if you were to get out there and do that, if you think that it would be different if you had Pepsi? Had 2 liters?
I might try some crazier shit. I don't know.
Dude, that's crazy though, man. You know what I was thinking about the other day?
What's up?
I don't think I'm a mustache man anymore. I think I'm gonna go ahead and. I thought I could do it.
Kind of. You're almost about to extend the handlebar thing.
Yeah, and I've been trimming it, but dude. Okay, so here's my thought. Right, I was thinking, okay, I got the truck, I got the mullet.
Your truck's lifted too.
Yeah,
right?
a little bit, not a lot, not too much.
Did you have to do that?
No, it was already set up like that. Yeah, I was just looking for a truck, and that ended up being there. So I got the truck, I got the mullet. And I was like, I have to have a mustache. And all my life, dude, I struggled with facial hair. Struggled.
Yeah.
It was so bad.
So you felt manly finally when you had the mustache?
A little bit. I think my confidence.
People started calling you sir more?
Yeah. Yes. How'd you know? Is that when you started calling me sir?
I don't know. With the beard, I've had the beard ever since I came back to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I can't picture myself without a full beard.
Really? See, okay. So speaking of that, when I kind of got to go, the classic Matt going off into the sidebar Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was younger,
yeah,
my dad has always driven a truck. He's been a truck driver. So one time I went on a truck with him, and whenever they went into the like where the like unload the trucks.
Yeah.
Sometimes that to make it go faster, he would help. So one time I was in there, and these like when I was in school, probably like 7th or 8th grade, maybe a little bit around that time. Anyways, boys in that school or in the school that or age frame were like growing little mustaches, little like chin hair. Grade? Yeah, dude, 8th grade, 9th grade. Yeah, man, they were like growing, like some of these kids. It could have been the Mountain Dew. It could have been something they were drinking. I don't know, all that stuff they were drinking as kids. But they would have like little chin hairs, and I would struggle with that. They'd have a happy trail, dude. I wanted a happy trail so bad, dude. Like one time it was so bad that one time on my birthday before I blew out the candles, I wished for a happy trail.
The funniest part is that you're not lying.
Yeah, no, that's what's crazy. And then it's like I can tell you because it finally came true. But no, it was crazy because like and so I was on the truck with my dad, and dude. So it was funny because like he was in there, and sometimes I would hang out in the truck like by myself.
Yeah.
And you know what boys that age do whenever they're by themselves?
I don't know.
They dig through their dad's shit.
Oh yeah.
And so that's what I did, and I found a thing of rogaine, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, 2 and 2 together. I'm wanting facial hair.
Okay.
And there's a thing of rogaine that helps you grow facial hair
right.
or hair. I mean, you know, right. I didn't think that anything of it. Anyways, so I proceed to look at the bottle and say, this is what I need to do because I'm going to go to school. I'm going to have a straight up beard, bro.
You put Rogaine on your face?
I put Rogaine on my face.
No,
so
dude.
Get this. So I rubbed some on my belly to get a happy trail. I was like, this wish is going to come true one way or another.
You really did this?
Yes. I shit you not.
Bro, so half the stories you tell me, I think you're just like making them up for the podcast.
No, not at all. No, this is 100% it.
Bro.
I'll even call my dad to prove it. So this is the best part though. This is not even so I put this on my face to make like this beard, right? Okay. And so whenever I do it, I have it all on there and I put it on there. Well, then my dad's taking a long time. So I'm like, dang, he's taking forever. So I, tuckered myself. I was tired. So I was like, I'm going to take a little nap. So I laid down. And when I did, my dad gets in there and he's like, hey, you ready to go? And he goes, what the hell is that? And I'm like, did the beard grow?
You woke up and thought it was already there.
Yeah, I was thinking, because I don't know how this stuff works. It's Rogaine, or whatever, just for men, and whenever there's two. I think it's Rogaine. Anyways, so I get up, he goes, what the hell is that? And so, like, I lift my head up, and I was like, what? And he goes, on the pillow. And I'm like, what? So I look down, and on the pillow, there's like this dye stuff. So it turns out it's not only like Rogaine, but it's also to like help the gray. Like, so I put this damn dye on my face. And so I got my beard, but it wasn't like actual hair. It was like,
I'm crying.
It stained my face. And so I couldn't, my mom wouldn't let me go to school.
So you looked in the mirror and you thought really the beard was there.
Yeah. In my mind, I pictured that, but it was just like stained I had like a mark on my belly. I had this like one part was like patchy looking, but it wasn't hair. It was just dye. It sucked so bad.
Bro.
Dude, I couldn't go to school.
How old were you when you did this?
19. No. No, I think I was like in like 8th grade, maybe like 9th grade. My God. I was old enough to know
Sounds
better.
like a movie scene.
Yeah, seriously, dude, it was so bad. My dad's like, what the hell? I ruined the pillowcase.
Damn. So your dad was a trucker and you used to roll? Yeah. Did you go on like road trips with him?
Yeah, we'd go.
Down I-40 and stuff?
All over the place. I don't know. We were all over the place.
Must have been I-40 out of here. Right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I don't know anything about that stuff. I always would go back there and lay down and sleep and wait until like
we were in the city. West Coast mostly?
Everywhere.
West?
I think there's 12 more states that I need to go to, and I've been to all of them.
Nice, dude. Yeah. I have one left.
One left?
Yeah, Alaska.
Alaska. I've never been to Hawaii or Alaska, and trucks don't go that far.
Yeah.
So.
I did Maine in 2019. Maine was the third last.
Really?
I did Maine, and I've been to Hawaii a couple times, but never Alaska.
See, I've never been.
That's the last one, dude.
You plan on going soon?
And a couple of them, like North Dakota and like Wyoming and stuff. I haven't spent much time, but it was like mostly my memories are just beautiful scenery from like a tour bus or something.
Yeah.
Like actually one time a bald eagle just swooped by this like valley. I was like, that was like my Wyoming memory.
Yeah.
Like this is gorgeous, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing. The land up there is incredible, dude.
That brings a goddamn tear to my eye, bro.
Tear to my eye.
Seeing that, being American. Speaking of, you know what I was just thinking about? Have you cried in a while? Do you cry? Are you in touch with your emotions to where
I
you
am. I think. Yeah, I think I repress them a lot, but when it's necessary, like I'm pretty good at just like brushing stuff off and just kind of, internalizing things and dealing with stuff. But yeah, man. The other day I watched a movie that me and my girl were both crying. We were bawling, dude.
What was that movie?
Okja.
Is that you were talking about that not long ago?
Was I?
Yeah, you were telling me something about that.
Bro.
Yeah, the one about the animals, right?
If you watch that, man, like what people don't realize is if they watch Okja and then relate that back to actual real life factory farming, it's not far off.
Yeah.
Like this is really what's going on. Like, and I've been vegetarian for forever.
Yeah. Since I've known you, you've been vegetarian.
Yeah. I mean, and I eat fish. I actually got a tattoo on my leg the other day that's a fish. It says "I'm sorry."
Yeah, I was cracking up about that.
Because I love sushi, bro.
Yeah.
And like I kind of feel bad about fish, but it's like at least it's not the same species as me.
Yeah.
Like I know that doesn't justify it,
Yeah.
but this is just my personal preference, right? And I'm not the guy that's preaching it or whatever to people. Like eating other living things is natural. Everything on the planet does it, but the problem is the farming and the way that it's exploited. That's what's fucked up. In this movie, Okja, this girl basically is super close with this, big kind of like, it's a genetically modified animal, which is what we're eating. When you're eating pigs and cows and stuff, they are all genetically modified. But this is like a super genetically modified kind of like hybrid of this animal, and they're like trying to create the perfect tasting meat behind the scenes, which is really fucking gross. And you see both sides of it. So you see like the horrible industrial kind of like side of it, and then you see this girl's story with this one animal and how much personality the animal has. And it really makes you think like, man, all of these animals that are being created and exploited for food, like they're living beings, dude. Like that's one of the to me one of the most fucked up things I think you can do. And so to answer your question, by the end of that movie, we were fucking crying.
Yeah,
dude.
I feel like a piece of shit because you know what movie made me cry recently?
What?
Click.
Click, dude.
The end of Click.
I think I cried at Click too.
Yeah,
but that was like I was like a little kid, man.
Yeah, no, dude.
That came out a long time ago.
Yeah,
right?
I can't remember what it was. It was on TV, and I caught some of it. And I was like, man, I got that movie somewhere. So I was like, I forgot how good of a movie it was. So I went and got it out of my stash of movies, and I watched it. I sat through it, and dude, when he's like family first, and like that.
Click has like, I mean, thinking back on it, Click has really deep kind of moral things in it too.
Yeah,
like you need to be present.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is like speeding through and skipping over things and like
stuff.
So the whole point of the movie is to like be present, enjoy now, which is like probably one of the most important lessons of life, right? Yeah,
you want me to sound even more like a piece of, you know what else made me kind of cry?
What?
The last episode of Friends.
See, I never got into Friends.
Dude, I never did.
I love the theme song.
I never did it. I didn't like it.
Shit goes hard.
But I watched. I have a.
Can someone comment the name of the band that plays the Friends theme song?
Isn't it like not Rekus?
Just. Comment because I need it. I'll look back on it every time I want to know.
You know, or whatever.
No one told you life was gonna be this way.
Yeah, we got it.
Fire.
Oh, cute. Yeah. No. So I don't like that show. I don't care for the show, but I have HBO Max, and it's on there if you guys want to watch it. All of them on there. And I remember I watched something. It was. I think it was on like TikTok, and people were talking about the saddest episodes of things. Yeah. And I remember it was a while back when I saw it, and they were talking about the last episode of Friends. I was like, what made that so sad? I couldn't remember. So I, searched it, and it was like the final one or whatever. And like I said, never really got into the show, but I was like, what made that show so sad? Because I can remember watching it, and there was two shows that stood out to me. And I remember that one was, and it was the part where did you watch it whenever she was like getting off the plane or whatever, trying to get off the plane, and he's like yelling at the answering machine. He's like, get off the plane, let her off the plane.
Oh yeah.
And he's like talking to her. It's like,
because they were going through a breakup or something.
Yeah, he was trying to tell her that he loved her. Like Ross was trying to tell Rachel he
I've
loved
actually
her.
seen that.
Yeah, and he's like, let her off the plane. And he's like staring at it, and she's like in the background. She's like, I got off the plane, and then like the whole crowd, because I think that's what gets me is like whenever like the crowd or whatever is all like, like and it's just like this big thing, and I was like, yes, and I'm like, that's true. But what really gets me though is like seeing other people cry. When I see other people cry, dude, it gets me, bro.
You think you're pretty empathetic?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's like I just can't, because that's what gets me. Because I'm pretty good at like hiding my emotion, but like kind of like not so much hiding them, but like being one with knowing where I'm at with things. Yeah. But like when I see other people cry, like I had a little small tiny role in one of my buddies' films, and one of my characters was like had to cry. I was like someone's brother or something like that, and I had to cry in it. And I was like, he's like, yeah, you're good at crying on cue. I was like, I got this, man. I could do this. So I was like trying to make myself cry, and then like I was like, trying all these different things, thinking of sad stuff. I was like, man, something's wrong. There's something wrong with me. Am I broken? Like, what's happening? And then he was like, hey, man, he's like, I was about to have your spot, or like you're, like ready to go. And I kept thinking, I was like, what am I gonna do, dude? Started watching two things: the army guys coming back home and everything, like their family, like when they reunite. Oh, dude, it gets me,
gets
bro.
you,
dude. Seeing how happy those people are to like come together. watching people being happy to get stuff, like whenever they like tell their sad stories, and like Ellen will like give them stuff and everything like that. Dude, that will get
like
me, bro.
People who have actually never had shit.
Yeah, or like that stuff. Because I was watching the ones with like the homeless people, like those YouTubers giving homeless people stuff. But then I found out like some of that, like a lot of that stuff's like fake and for the camera and stuff. But
well, I think everything is.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
really, if you want to, if you want to ruin it.
But if you want to have my emotions, then but it really just like seeing
a lot of those
stuff.
people, that's their tax break.
Yeah, see, but
whatever. I'm not trying to ruin
it. But we're gonna keep it in mind.
It is still. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference on the other side for the people receiving it.
Oh,
it doesn't matter how.
Yeah, just seeing people happy, dude. Seeing people happy about stuff like that.
The fact that you're doing that, if you have to spend that money, at least you're doing that.
Yeah,
That's
dude,
cool.
I love it though, man. Seeing people happy and seeing people sad, man. When people are like heartbroken, and everything like that, it gets me. Have you seen, aside from like films like about animal stuff like that, is there like a scripted or written thing that you got?
I'm sure there is, dude. I think the first thing that popped in my head was My Dog Skip.
See, I hadn't seen that. Was Frankie Muniz?
I don't know. Was it?
Yeah, I think it was.
Way back in the day. That shit was sad.
Yeah.
But that's another animal thing. So maybe I don't know.
Something with the animals.
Yeah, man.
Mine's like heartbreak, dude. Like those good love stories, man. It's just, God, they got a soft spot in my heart for those things, man. That would get me every time. Or like if somebody wants to crying from me, dude, I'll just like, oh, here we cry, and I'll cry with them, because that's what had me. It was funny because I went from when he's like, are you ready to do this? I was like, yeah, man, I got this. So I was like trying to make myself cry, and I was trying to think of things. I was like, and it wasn't working. So then like he goes, he's like, you don't have to cry hard. And I was like, well, what are you kind of? He's like, in the middle. So I was like, give me a second. So I stepped over and I was like, I YouTube those, the army and military people coming home. Dude, I was like, going over. I was like, I was a mess. He goes, whoa, dude. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, bro. It got me,
so it's
bro.
like 0 or 100.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I was like, I think it's because I save it up. I try not to like be too emotional. I try to be a tough guy and everything, because one, I have a mustache. And that's another thing.
And a mullet.
Yeah, and a mullet, and in the truck. But I don't think, circling back to what you're talking about, the meat stuff, I don't think I deserve this mustache. You know why?
Why?
Because I don't eat red meat.
Oh, good, dude.
Yeah, I don't have steak. Yeah, but I don't. I
think it's good because you're not out there
shooting
and killing your own red meat.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's funny.
Drive through and buy a shitty hamburger or whatever.
Yeah.
That's just trash anyway.
No fast food, bro. No fast food in his belly. No.
I hate the narrative that eating red meat is manly.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so dumb.
That's what I actually had somebody say that one time. They saw my mullet. It's like, he likes some steak.
I think it's manly if you're really hungry and you live in the woods and you go and shoot and kill and cook and eat the thing that you killed. Mm-hmm. The least manly thing is just driving through a damn drive-through and just picking up some salty-ass, cheap quality factory-produced meat. Like that, what is... There's nothing manly about that. There's nothing protein and strong about that. That's just garbage. You're just eating trash.
Or you go to your local butcher.
You're like a damn possum digging through a trash can, bro.
Yeah, you go to your...
It's the easiest thing to do.
You go to your local butcher and you're like, hey, hop in your big-ass truck and you say, hey, give me some of that chicken. Because that's what the manliest thing to do is get that chicken. And
and I mean, it just, the quality of all that stuff is terrible. But
I think it's funny how that really goes back to that when people are like, yeah, red meat and beer and boobies, like how they act like that kind of stuff. It's like, no, you can be respected.
No, man, it's cool to be. I think it's manly to be in touch with your emotions.
Yeah, it's manly.
I think it's manly to like communicate.
Yeah,
I think it's manly to understand like a woman's needs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not be closed off and just drink beer and watch sports. That's the worst shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I think more men need to realize that. Like you got to be well rounded.
Exactly. Or being manly. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Being manly is not having to put Rogaine on your face. Yeah. But I was a young.
And my definition of manly is different than whatever.
Well, I think it's most like good, because I mean I can 100% agree with you, but like I just think it's funny. Like I don't think it's funny because it's sad, because like I know people who are in those kind of relationships like that, and it's just crazy. Like the ones you see, the guys who are like, go fix me a plate, and they have like the worst thing, and
like super old fashioned.
Yeah, or the worst thing ever is the ones where you see the guys I'll know. Like I'll see like a girl that I know, and like maybe her boyfriend or whoever is like happens to not know who I am, and I'm not saying he's like intimidated or anything like that, but I've noticed it more often than not, like when they walk up and he'll put his hand on her neck and like just stand there and like hold his hand on her neck, like the back of it, and it's like, what are you doing, bro? Yeah. Like what is that? Like
a controlling.
Like a control. Like it's like that dominant. And it's like, dude, really? Like what is it?
Yeah, I mean it's a fine line. I think a lot of women, like they want they want that type of thing from if you're actually together.
Yeah.
If you're just doing that to like someone you're on the 4th date with, you know, like it's kind of strange.
It's the southern side of or it's a southern style of
mostly it's just like, don't try too hard, dude.
50 Shades of Grey.
Try too hard. Just it's not that complicated. Just pay attention and be aware.
Yeah.
Like
the 50
there's a lot
shades.
to learn from women. There's a lot to learn from the opposite sex,
Anything.
or just your significant other.
Yeah, anything you can learn.
It's not about genders. It's just just another person.
Yeah, you can literally learn from anything. Like my favorite is the crack in the cement and the little flower or little weed grows out of the crack. And you sit there and you think about it, and it sounds crazy, but if you stare or like you watch it and you think about that living little piece of weed or whatever, like flower, whatever you want to call it, had grew and it got past those things that were stopping it from growing.
I love that metaphor. Actually.
And it still came
like
up.
I think that's in the Tupac song.
Yeah, there's something like that.
Grew through
something like that. But like I've heard different like people
but that's,
that changed it.
That's like.
But you can learn from that, you know.
Man, that's an amazing metaphor. Like the Tupac thing is like basically like, all these kids in the hood that are surrounded by the worst possible, scenario, and then a few of them are like somehow just so bright and so like aware and just like have this whole following of like beating that cycle of like what they're generationally kind of stuck in. That I love that metaphor.
Do you think
I feel like that kind of being from here and being from a small town and being like just the punk rocker and dropping out of school and always just being so different than like the accepted version of like a male in Tahlequah, Oklahoma.
Oh yeah. Because
like I was so different, and I kind of felt like I bloomed through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like I've always referenced back to that. I feel like I had to overcome a lot of that.
Yeah. That's the thing about like the crazy thing is because a lot of people will box you in, and you got to show them that you can easily come out of the box. And
yeah, I think you can.
In their song, hey, it's something under the box, or whatever. That Roddy Rich coming out the
I don't know if that's what he's talking about.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. All I understand was just like under the box, something under the box. That's the only part I remember.
You can make it. Yeah, you can make it.
You know one thing. I think the reason why I don't really care for coffee too much, not just because I'm not really big on hot liquids, but every time like I feel like people feel like it's necessary to like make those noises when they drink it. Like you can't just like because when people are like they can't just take a drink.
Well, just because they're scared.
Is that what it is?
I think they're scared that it's so hot.
That fear. Can't you just, hey, you know what I know? Hey, for people who do that, I got a little secret for you, a little test. Just blow it.
Do you think everyone likes my mug? Drop a thumbs up if you like my alien mug. There's aliens everywhere here, dude.
Oh yeah, aliens, dude. That's where it's at.
I mean, I have literally like, we got aliens in the background of every podcast. We actually bought these for that music video you shot, dude. That's where these came from. Dude, but they just kind of hang around my house now.
They're just chilling with us.
I ordered way too many on accident on Amazon, and I kept having Amazon deliveries of these inflatable aliens. I have like 5 uninflated ones in my studio back there.
Can you imagine the what do you call it, the UPS or whatever FedEx guy? He's like, what the hell's going on?
What in the hell?
Where's all these aliens for? Right. What kind of stuff is this? Blow up doll. Like he has been used to like delivering blow up dolls, but it's blow up aliens.
Yeah, he's like, damn, what kind of stuff are y'all into?
That's crazy. I was just thinking back, like I thought about this the other day after I left here, one of the times we were recording, and I was thinking about
episode 3 now.
Yeah, episode 3 now.
Wassup podcast, episode 3.
Episode 3, baby.
Hit that subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Oh no, off subject, really bad. I'm gonna pop back into that one. I don't know if I told you about this, but I was telling somebody about the podcast. Yeah. And as I was telling them about it, and I was like, yeah, we got this podcast, me and my buddy, a longtime buddy, we talk about stuff. And she's like, oh yeah, I had to check out. She's like, what's it about? I was like, literally everything. Yeah, everything. We talk about everything. We don't we're not boxed in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, yeah, we're not.
Like it's just everything. But I was like telling her about it, and this guy had overheard me. He was like, what the hell's a podcast? And I was like, a podcast? And he's like, I don't understand them. I don't understand what about podcasts. And I was like, what I mean, like, what do you mean? The podcast just listening to people talk. And he's like, oh, and you do that? And I was like, yeah, I mean, we talk about stuff. Me and my buddy kind of go back and forth and talk about stuff. He's like, what makes you think people want to sit there and listen? And I was literally like,
do though.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't know, man. I can't explain that to you. Like, if they do, they do. If they don't, they don't. Like, I mean, if they don't like it, you can move on. Yeah. You can just keep scrolling or whatever,
It's like when you're touching on so many subjects, right? Mm-hmm. And the audience could be anybody on the entire internet.
Yeah.
Like, you can have You can have a whole audience that's interested.
Yeah.
Like you might say one thing that like intrigues them for a long time, and like they just kind of hope you get back to that point or talk more on that. And then people grow to just like the banter and grow to just like, it could be about anything it could be any number of things that's pulling people in. You know?
I like the ones where
I recently started loving podcasts.
Yeah. Oh, I've been into them for a while, but like my thing is like I love them being real. Like I like the fact that we can be real and like tell our stories and our stuff, you know. And like I was telling you the other day, it's like it's cool that we're, you know, we haven't seen each other for a while and we've kind of communicated with things, but like we're able to talk about stuff and share experiences and everything, life experience. I mean, we've been doing our, you know, stuff for a while and different things that we're doing.
Yeah.
We've had we'll eventually get into it, but the crazy shit we used to do and had to live, you know, the way that we lived and things that's happened, you know, along the way. And, you know, just being one of those people, because I don't think and I think that there's more, the age frame of the people who really enjoy podcasts can kind of relate a lot more too with things, because they kind of understand, because that's what the kind of shit we had to go through and some of the stuff, and it's kind of cool. And like, you know, we came from that time, like we said, the ones who weren't sitting there on their phones, and ironically enough, now we're at that
just
point
on the cusp.
Yeah, exactly. Where now we're at the point or the part of our lives where we're kind of like,
I think it's good to just share information in a day and age where it's constant information.
Yeah.
A long form piece of like media, like what we're putting out, like most of our podcasts are like an hour, and we're talking about real things. You never know how someone is going to relate so hard to like one thing we say. I think I just said that, but like just to reiterate that, like someone really might relate and just like they needed to hear that from another perspective, to watch two people communicate. And I think that's the whole point of podcasts, is it's just so much knowledge and information that we're all just sharing.
I think it's weird that the vegetarian's all about media.
Oh, I see what you did there. Nice,
that
dude.
was bad. That was bad.
That was a terrible joke, but I loved it though. I love bad jokes.
Yeah, bad jokes are the best jokes. No, but I was thinking, kind of going back to what I was talking about, because I'm like, sidebar Matt, or I need to come up with something for that, like, because I know I go off.
Sidebar.
Sidebar, yeah.
We'll put like a little thing on the screen.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
Sidebar Matt. You know,
we'll do it right now.
Yeah.
Sidebar.
Yeah, sidebar. No, but so you know, I was thinking about the other day, kind of going back to what I was talking about when I started going into whatever else I was talking about. So I don't know if you can recall, but okay, so what I'm big on is timelines. I had a conversation with somebody a little while back about timelines and different lifestyles and different things.
Okay.
Like, are we like? Do you think that we're where we're supposed to be? Do you think that we're where we are supposed to be due to like chance or decisions or other decisions? Because
not even us personally, just everyone.
Yeah,
like,
but I mean, from what we know, exactly. Anybody out there could be like, okay, so this is where that was your, because everybody has a story, everybody has a journey, everybody has, you know, it's like a story. Each chapter changes along the way. And so I've had this conversation a handful of times, and, you know, a couple of buddies in particular we've talked about. But one of the things I was thinking about, what kind of led me into it, is like, I don't know if you remember or not, but okay, so we had a buddy of ours from back in the day, and if he's listening, or somebody else who's listening who knows about this, he left for a while for like, I don't know, it was like film school, or went on a family trip or something. He left for like a little while, and it was during the summertime.
Yeah.
I think maybe it was a family trip. Anyways, so he left for the summertime, and so we knew he was coming back, and he was like texting us, and he was like, hey, he's like, I want the crew to be together, everybody meet at the shed. It was a real cool spot we used to hang out.
Yeah.
And
we just called it the shed.
Yeah, it was a shed. Like, I think me, you, and another guy lived there for a little while inside there. That was our room. But anyway, so we were all going to meet, and he's like, I want to see everybody. Let's all meet at the shed. And so we're like, yeah, let's meet up. And so we thought, me and you, and I think another guy was like, dude, wouldn't it be funny as if we like pranked him? And so our funny prank was to like change our stories and change our timelines and change what happened. And like, me and a girl I was dating at the time, apparently it was like we were having a baby and I had no job. I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
This was all just made up.
Yeah, we were all.
Because I barely remember.
We all made it.
Kind of have a recollection.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that some of the people who were involved would be like, oh, remember that shit, you know. But we said you were like thugged out and like you were a rapper, which is kind of ironic. And so we were like, because
me a rapper?
Yeah, yeah.
No
but it was
way.
funny because you like had like you sagged your like dickies real low and you put like your beanie real by your eyes, and like when he come walking up, you're like, what's up, man? How you doing? Like that, and like you're just all like hardcore.
Killed it too.
Yeah, it was so funny. And so and then us, and then there was two of our friends who were like best friends. They were like sisters, but they like came out and they were like, you know, like, oh, we're lesbian now. We're like in a relationship. We're getting engaged.
Dude, how do you remember?
Because it was so vivid. Because it was so funny. And I don't know, my memory is weird. Like, dude, you ask me anything about like history stuff and like stuff that mean like the like past stuff like about like our presidents and stuff, dude, no shit about it. I don't know hardly anything. If it's a movie reference or like past stuff, dude, I can remember it. Like it, okay. Like, it was weird. I don't know. Maybe I got the Asperger's. I don't know. But I've been told that somebody said that they think. But anyways, long story short, like we'll just set that aside. No, but super short. No, but can we cut that? No,
keep going.
Yeah, no.
Okay, get to the point of the timelines.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. Timelines. Okay, yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. That's why I was going. But
timelines.
No, so I was trying to remember all the other ones. So there was that, and then one of our friends we had him hiding because we said he got put in jail and he was like put in prison because he like did something, and so he was hiding.
Do you think our friend we were pranking was buying this?
Yeah, he did because if you remember right, he walked out there and he had his hands on his head. He's like, "What is going on?" He's like, "I leave for one summer," and he was freaking out, dude. And we're just like, "Yes."
So we blew his mind.
Yeah, dude.
We're all pretty good actors.
Yeah, yeah. And it was funny because we tricked him so well, but it was crazy because like we basically just changed our stories up. And I was thinking like, what if that direction, like whenever I was like packed up and ready to move and I was going to move to freaking Nevada and then, and then other things were going to happen and people were going to do, and then just
so you're applying that actual kind of like acting
in a way, but like just thinking
prank experience to like a real life.
Exactly.
What about real timelines?
Yeah, it made me think about it. It was just that side thing that made me see if you remember, but I guess you don't. But hopefully, if there's any listeners who was involved in this, because there was a couple more too that I can't really remember. I just remember those were the main things.
Yeah.
Because I remember he wanted to talk to me outside, and he was like, "What are you gonna do? You don't have a job. You're gonna have a kid." And he was like freaking out, and he's like, "And they're, I didn't know they were gay, and like he was just like freaking out, and he's like, Nick's a thug now, and he's like, "Are we gonna get to go visit? What's our buddy in jail, like in prison?" I was like, "Nah, man, he's locked up."
So we just blew his mind,
dude. He was freaking out, and then he was kind of mad for a little bit because we finally told him because like somebody just kept laughing or whatever. And he's like, "What's so funny about this? This is crazy because I leave for one summer and you guys' life has changed."
Yeah,
and we're like, "Nah, dude, it was a joke." And he's like, "Wait, what?" And then kind of like the whole on what do you call it? What's the Ricky Bobby, the Talladega Nights? Whenever the dude was like hiding because they were like, he said he died so he could do better at the race. And he was peeking over and like he came around the corner. He's like, "I'm not in jail." He was not happy to see him. He's like, "Dude, that's not funny. Like you guys made me think that this." And then, but it was just like kind of brought up that. But
so how does that tie into the timeline?
Just thing? Just the whole concept of how like if we are like right now where we are doing this podcast, like are we where we're supposed to be, or did this happen by chance?
I don't know. I kind of like to think that I actually had this whole conversation about this the other day, but I think that no matter what you do or choices you make, you'll somehow kind of end up back where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's odd.
Yeah.
Like the timeline is, I don't know, maybe predestined or predetermined, like this destiny thing.
Yeah. Are you?
I really do. I don't know. I mean, I think I know we have free will. I know you can at any point get up and do what you want to do, but someone put it really interestingly the other day, and I actually have a story, like a personal experience with this, but they put it interestingly in something I watched the other day where they're like, when you make a decision, it's like a choose your own adventure book, right? And you know those little brackets that go off like this? Yeah. This decision or this decision within a spur of the moment. When you actually finally make the decision, yes, that was your free will, but at that last little second, was it really you?
Okay.
Like you still just kind of picked one or the other.
Yeah.
And so this could be the smallest thing or the biggest thing, but every small little choice you make is branching off in these like bracket kind of tree branch formations. You know what I mean? If you really look at your life.
Well, it's kind of like that. You think it's the kind of same concept of like, in a way, like the butterfly effect? Like whenever you change something, like if you were to, because think about it, like if you were to go back in time right now and you were like, somebody gave you the opportunity to say, hey, you can go back in time and change something. Would you change?
I don't know. I don't think I would mess with it. I think I would
just let it just be.
I like to just try and stay present as much as possible. I think it's a little toxic to think too far ahead or too far in the past or dwell on the past. I think that it's a great practice to try and be as present as possible.
See, and that's the thing about it. I think that's where people I was listening to some of the prior podcast, or all the podcasts we've had before this, the two, and I said that's the thing about it. I say that a lot. I realize that that's the thing about it, and
that's fine.
I say that a lot. Just do your thing. We have to have a drinking game with it. Have a coffee drinking game every time I say that. But no, but yeah, where was I at? Damn it. No, so that's the thing about it too. Is like I always would have. Oh my gosh! Like for the longest time, I was like, everything happens for a reason. Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
That's it. But now, the older I get, the more I start seeing things. I think things just are kind of happening. They can't, because you can make a decision. Mm-hmm. You're ultimately. I don't know if anything's like your decisions persuade. I think other people can persuade it. Experiences could persuade your decision. But ultimately, I mean, it's the same concept of like, why aren't we going out there right now and just being like, you know what? I'm just gonna go murder. I'm just gonna go kill.
Because we don't want to. We don't want to do
that. But ultimately, like thinking about that and having that thought and that process to where you're not gonna go do that. You're not gonna go do stuff like that. Being one of those.
It's like what stream are you? It's like a stream. Mm-hmm. What stream are you in tune with?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then
I like to think of our minds as like a receiver of information, and then you act on that information that you've received. Mm-hmm. I don't think consciousness is generated in our mind.
Yeah, it could. I
think of it more as an antenna, and then you act on that, but you're still acting on information you received in that stream. Uh-huh. So it's all going to kind of go similar. It's just a different path to get to the same spot. If you stay on that same stream, I'm sure there's like more evil shit or darker ways you can go. But I believe that there's kind of like I'm big on intuition, and I'm big on trusting your gut, and I'm big on using those as like figures of speech, like just following that real feeling when you're like, I know I should be doing this, and then you actually get up and act on it. Mm-hmm. And I want to go back to my story whenever it makes sense. Yeah.
So real fast, do you think that has anything to do with like how you are as a person, like different things, like being in tune with that?
And I think some people have way more of a difficult time doing things and acting on things based on their traumas and their, it's a bigger obstacle for some.
Yeah. Or how you are as a person. Like if you're one of those guys we were talking about, well, that could eventually have you where if you're that much of an asshole or doing different things like that, people don't want to be around you. You wouldn't have a lot of friends to get you to stay at a place. You would have problems in relationships more likely because people don't want to be with somebody like that. And then you're like, well, screw this place. I want to go. And then you're off somewhere else doing something else, and it changes it.
Yeah. And I think those people are maybe not in the flow. Mm-hmm. They're not going with the flow. They're not following their intuition. They're going against the grain in the way that they're acting out and doing things that they know they shouldn't, doesn't feel right. And when you do that, you're probably just kind of stuck a little bit.
Or you
maybe eventually
trying to swim upstream.
You as a being and your energy will evolve at some point and get to that point, but maybe not in this life.
Yeah, just go with the flow.
You have to get the picture. You have to look at it from a bigger picture.
Oh yeah,
it's not just about this life either. Yeah, it's about all of us connectedly are doing. We're all connected and we're all doing this. Every action we make is like influencing the bigger picture.
Yeah. Speaking of bigger picture, real fast, before you get to your story, because I want to hear what you got to say. But this is kind of another little sidebar. I was thinking about
sidebar.
You ever think about how back in the day you get the full TV when you watch movies, but now there's so much widescreen that's on it that there's so much more of your TV's like just completely black, and then you start watching.
I don't like though. I mean, I like widescreen is fine, but I don't like
but there's
super
so much
cinema.
I mean, that's cool and all, like doing the widescreen, but then it's like I've got this TV, and there's so much of it's black. Like we're really not getting to see the big picture.
It's like having your eyes like.
Yeah, you're just like, what am I doing? Yeah. But what were you talking about your story? What do you got?
Well, it goes back to like the free will thing and the timelines, the bracket type of thing. It's like it could be something as simple as like. I'll just use my story as an example. Yeah. And this was when I was kind of big on watching videos about this subject and about intuition and about, free will and all that. Mm-hmm. So like it's small, but it's a good example. So I'm laying in my room and I'm living with my producer, good friend at the time, who for like 2 years straight, every record I released and made was with this guy. And we would just work on beats together. He would record me, so I was living with this guy and I was just in my room, like kind of in a slump, whatever, going through some shit. And and I had been watching all these videos, so I was, kind of about the mind being a receiving signals and following your intuition. So I get this, hey, I get this idea for a song. So I acted on it, and the action was small. I got up out of my slump, left my room, went in the living room, and told him my idea. Yeah. But I was consciously doing this small little action. Like I said, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to tell Mecca, is his name. I'm going to tell Mecca the song idea and see what happens. He started making the beat, and it became a song that I performed every night for people that are singing along on tour. Mm-hmm. Like tons of footage, people singing, like loving it, loving this song, messages coming in, people loving this. I relate to this. The song was called Anxiety, ironically. But the point is that one moment that I was laying on my back, sad and didn't feel like doing anything, that I said, fuck it, I'm going to go in there and tell him, turned into this whole branch of outcomes. Yeah. Because this one record exists, and it's not a hit record. It's not like 1 million plays or whatever, but it still changed the course of everything based on that one decision. Yeah. The smallest little thing.
What do you think stopping other people from that? Like what, from your experience?
I don't think anything's, I think it, like we said, like people's traumas and their own anxieties and stuff. But it's like anything. It's like if you can't even do one push-up, if you do one, the next day you'll be able to do 2. Yeah. It's like you just got to start somewhere, and some people are farther behind than others, and everyone's capable of doing whatever they want. Mm-hmm.
Well, see, that's the other thing too.
Just start.
Is I found that I've been told before that I'm funnier when I'm in my dark place, because like when I get like super like, I don't want to say depressed, but like with my seasonal depression, different things like that, I find myself not wanting to do anything. I feel like it's one of those things that like a lot of people notice that
it's a hurdle. It's a hurdle.
Yeah, like my years of doing videos, like around the time frame when it starts getting like dark at noon, like when it starts getting dark early. Insane. I don't really do a lot of stuff like that. That's that time that I just like I sit there and I'm just like it's hard, and I find myself like, I mean, even now we started it during this time frame, and it was one of those things that I was like, oh yeah, I would do this, and in my mind I was like, let's push it and do it, and it was just like we were like, let's do it. Let's just get it done,
Just go for it, because it doesn't matter how much you do. It's just start somewhere. Yeah. Just start somewhere, and I think the bigger thing is to zoom out on your own perspective of your own life and realize that if you feel like you just want to lay around one day, it's like do your best to get out of that, but don't beat yourself up about it. Yeah. Say like if you're not feeling like it's gonna, don't force stuff. But there is a little moment of decision where you can flick like that switch like a light.
Dude, it's easy to sit there and be in that rut and do that kind of stuff.
And I think if you do it, you get more and more aware of when you are feeling like that. You'll be more and more okay with it, because you're like, well, I've already done, like when I get in that place all the time, and I'm like, well, at least I put out a song every month, last year, and at least I got this, and like I have things that I did do, that I did push myself to do, that I can reflect on. I'm like, it's okay if I lay around today and don't do shit. Yeah. Like, you gotta slowly build yourself to that point, I think, to where you feel more and more okay with it.
If I'm not doing something, I'm feeling like shit. Like I have to like be.
Well, we strive for purpose.
Yeah. Because I have to, like, even if I'm in that situation or I'm in that like that mood or like during that depression, I'm like, okay, well, how about I draw or I do something, I sketch something or do something, because I feel like I have to have, or like something needs to be accomplished.
That's good. You have that drive. You have that.
It keeps me going. Yeah, to want to do it, because I mean, there's so many things and so many. I mean, I'm that
just
guy
do
like
it.
Talking about doing something.
The moral is just go for it,
dude,
man. Don't worry about, and especially if your fear lies in what other people are gonna think, fuck them, dude. Yeah,
that's why I wore my Nikes today.
Who cares?
Nike.
Do that shit.
I wore them, dude. Just do it, bro.
Do it. I wore Nikes today too.
Did you see? That's what I'm saying. Just do it.
It's probably such a horrible company that outsources all of their shoes from child labor in some other country, but
hey,
well, I don't know, man.
Just do it.
Yikes.
Just do it, dude.
Anyway, sidebar.
So hey,
but for real,
Nick sidebars.
I don't know. We have to find a little thing to put on the screen for sure.
Yeah, just pop something up for that. That'd be dope, bro.
Yeah, do it. Don't let your fears take over.
So, do you think that out there, one of the things too that kind of got me into thinking of that kind of stuff is because I was watching something, and now it sounds a little crazy and everything like that, and you probably think, oh, much cuckoo. No, but so I was watching something. And Carson City's pretty close to Nevada, or like Las Vegas, right? It's in Nevada. It's like pretty close.
It's not close to Las Vegas, but
it's in that area. It's close.
Like more north. It's close to like Sacramento, California.
Oh shit. Well, okay, so
it's kind of far up there.
Okay,
actually.
so it kind of knocks out.
It's a long state.
Well, maybe in that different scenario. So let's say, for instance, things didn't go the way that I thought would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I would have one way or another. Let's say I went down during that timeline and I was there. Well, anyway, so
because you were thinking about moving there.
Yeah, it was just some stuff
point?
that happened back in the day during the early relationship, early kind of stuff like that. I ended up, was about to move there, and things were changing, and I had my stuff packed up and ready to go. I was telling people bye, like I was ready,
Dang.
like I had it all together. And then, things changed, thankfully. But I was thinking about if that happened, I would have ended up there, right? So if that stuff happened, blah, 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 long story short, I say that a lot too. Why did I even say that? But anyways, so I was thinking about it, but I was watching something. And it was like, I think it was like a magic show or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something. And there was and this kind of gets to where I'm kind of going with this. But I was watching it, and there was a guy in the background, looked almost exactly like me. He had like shaggy hair, and I'm thinking, okay, is somebody living that timeline where he's in? Because it was in Vegas,
bro.
And so I thought about that, and I thought like, okay, can you? Because have you ever had those people come up to you and be like, dude, there's this guy. My cousin knows somebody who's in Oregon. It looks just like you. It's
I have actually.
Was that your?
I just watched the interesting thing about that the other day too.
That's weird.
But yeah, I have had people say that.
Yeah, but that's the thing about it. And it's like if you see that, or people, or like that, it's like, is it other people live in that timeline, or it's like doppelgangers or whatever they want to call them, like
maybe.
people.
Apparently, the like in just genetic code in general, like it's 1 in 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
so I mean, there's like almost 8 billion people now on Earth.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean,
it's a 1 in a billion chance, basically.
Yeah.
That someone's gonna look basically almost like you.
But yeah,
I've never met one of mine that I was like, yeah, that actually really looks like me. But
dude, I get.
But
so
it's
many
apparently
people.
1 in 7. Like it's actually there's someone out there that looks almost identical to you. Like, dude. And it's weird because it goes into like this weird, universal code and like maybe there's only so many outcomes.
Have you ever had those people say that you look like somebody and you like look them up? There was a guy from Pretty Little Liars named Caleb. Somebody showed me a picture, and he was tall and had dark hair.
I don't know. Should we put a picture of him on the screen?
Yeah, it looks nothing like me. And then when I had my shaggy hair, do you remember everybody was calling me Ashton Kutcher and called me Kelso when I had my shaggy hair? Yeah. And then the big one I get, because
you had like
all
the bangs
time,
and stuff.
And the big one I get constantly, even to this day, like people will stop me and say I look like Brandon Urie from Panic at the Disco.
Oh yeah,
all the time, dude. And there was even one time they said there was like, oh, you like this guy named Phil off the show or whatever, and I looked up as a black guy. I'm like, what the heck? Like, did just have you ever done that? Like, because I remember your thing was somebody said that you look like Ellen. I remember that time.
Oh, I did Ellen as a Halloween costume.
Yeah. But didn't you say?
Oh, I was on Warped Tour.
Yeah.
I was on Warped Tour, and I had like the emo kind of like swoopy haircut.
Yeah.
And I was selling albums. Like we would wake up at like 7 a.m. and like start selling albums to the first kids in line, and then we'd play later in the day, whatever. We were working super hard. Sold 30,000 albums, by the way. Yeah. But we so I was in line selling an album, and this girl was like, you look like, she flips the CD over, you look like Ellen. Yeah. So it became this like inside joke, basically.
That picture, dude. That's what I was thinking about. It was like if we had our Insta set up for our podcast, we could share that picture to show.
I mean, most emo dudes slightly look like lesbians.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
But specifically Ellen, though. Like, how many look like Ellen? Because I remember that picture, that classic picture, dude. That's got to be probably one of the first ones we posted of you, like where you're by her Hollywood star.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, that was the funniest. And you were like dressing exactly like her. Dude, looked just like her. I
shaved, clean shaved for that.
It was funny, dude.
And people at the party, I went to a dope ass party that night, a Halloween party, and everyone was asking me like, "What are you?" And when I tell them, they would crack up. It was, that was probably my best Halloween costume ever.
Yeah, dude, it was like on point, man. We got to share it and let people see it and spread it. Going back into that kind of thing too, another thing that I've been kind of paying attention to and everything was like the have you seen that stuff about the simulations and stuff like that, and like
simulation theory?
Yeah, the whole theory, all that stuff like that. Not to try to get into all that, but maybe we can share some to split them up. But dude, kind of talking about this timeline, because that's a huge fan of like the whole timeline concept of different life, and then that's the whole thing is like maybe if like there's like a glitch and everything like that, because there's like oh man,
there's glitches in the Matrix all the time.
You think so?
I think so.
What's your favorite? Do you have like a
simulation theory? Let me go pee and let's pick it up.
Ooh,
simulation.
I'm gonna
theory.
go listen to you too.
All right.
So like not counting like videos that are out there as far as like, because I mean anything can be edited anymore. I don't try to sound like one of those old men that's like, oh, it's that was edited as fake. But like, is there specific?
We don't know what to believe anymore.
Oh yeah, even the deep fake stuff. Have you seen some of the things what they're doing?
And that's a whole nother level. But let's stay on track.
Dude, but no, I'm blown away by that kind of stuff.
Insane,
I'm scared of that, dude. That's why I don't want to piss anybody off, because they can put my face on anybody.
It's like we're not gonna. Yeah, you won't even know.
Go rob a bank, and they're like,
you already don't know what to believe, and now with this, face swap and deep fake and face ID and all this stuff, like it's ridiculous. Dude.
But do you have one specific, like the simulation stuff that you get kind of trips you out a little bit?
Man, I just sometimes shit just lines up too coincidentally, like. Yeah. Where I'm like, I have a certain thing that happens to me a lot with music. Mm-hmm. And like the song I'm listening to, like a really like obscure lyric in the song, like not just like a regular word, will like be on a billboard or on a sign at the exact moment that I pass by it, that the song is playing, that will line up. Yeah. Or like the other day I was with my dad and we were talking about, I think we were just talking about LA or some, just some certain thing, and then the song is about exactly what we're talking about. Yeah. Or the other day I was just cleaning my house, right? It could be this simple, but like I was listening to some old like funk, like Motown something, and I'm dusting and cleaning, and there's this vase over here, and in the song, right when I'm cleaning, I'm wipe the shelf, right? Yeah. Right when I'm doing that, it says something about lift the vase.
Oh wow, that's sketchy.
Like literally, like the lyric in the song said exactly what I was doing. Yeah. And then right moments after that, I have like all these little musical instruments and stuff. And I had a tambourine over here on the fireplace. I had to dust under the tambourine. I lift the tambourine. The song says something about the sound of the tambourine.
Oh my God.
Like same. So like, it's like when you're in tune with that, you start noticing it more. Yeah. And I think it's always happening. Yeah. But it's like when you hear that and realize that, like, this really just happened, like that's not to me, that just can't be a coincidence, especially twice in a row like that. Specific actions that I'm doing, and my Spotify is on shuffle Motown. Yeah. Like, to me, that's just like something is deeper than our perspective.
Could you think that when they wrote that song, they were just cleaning their house and he's just walking around like, no, clean up.
I mean, you don't know, but the fact that either way, like, even if that was the story of the lyric, like it happened and lined up with exactly what I was doing.
I thought you were going to say what's that little
It's almost like,
song?
It's like part of your brain knows it's coming, and I don't know, it's strange.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say what's that little Boosie? I wipe it down, I wipe it, or something like that. I thought they were going to say that comes on. I'm like, shit,
yeah, but basically, I mean, same idea.
Oh, and I think that could happen more often than not, because I do the same thing. Like, I've never had it like to where it's like telling like every little thing, but like I'll catch something, or like one other thing is like when you say things, like I'll be like, yeah, it's over here, and then at the exact same time something on the TV says here, and it's like synced in together, and then it's like weird things.
Same type of thing.
Right? Yeah, like there was something that was like happened, like where like numbers, like big numbers like syncing in together, or like I was like there was something I was watching and it said something about a number and like about a time or whatever. I looked and it was the exact same time. I was like, holy shit, like what's going on? Yeah. I think that happens to a lot of people, but it's the ones who are in sync within themselves and like paying attention and like do that. And then some people are like, really, you're just weird, crazy. Man. You're just overthinking it. And it's
no, like, dude, I think like at the time, like another example I have is like at the time that I was like feeling the most kind of egotistical and the most Hollywood and the most like, the kind of like a high in my music career, right? Everything around me started morphing into that reality. Like, I'm like, how am I living in Calabasas in this expensive ass house? Like, and there's reasons why I ended up there, but like my life went that direction. Yeah. Like, I'm living here now, and like in my music video, my homie pulls up in this nice ass car, and we like, like it's like. And I remember backing out of the driveway one day, like, it's like too picturesque and perfect out there. And then I'm driving, and then like Kanye's just walking down the street, and like Logic's at the smoothie store, and like Kanye's all these people
Jeffree
that
Star's house.
Basically, yeah. I mean, they're all right there. So it's weird. It's like the time in my life that I was in that place the most, it manifested
So whenever you're in sync with that
reality.
stuff, and start
I think
hearing
it's like
those
you
things,
create that.
Like
stuff.
whenever you hear those things and you're in sync with that stuff, do you think that that's where that's how you know where you're supposed to be at? Like that's how you follow, because it's like those paths, like you're catching on. So that's how you know that's where you're supposed to be. So therefore, that can answer the question.
I don't think it's a bad sign. I
don't think so. If you hear that kind of stuff,
weird stuff,
because it could be different and stuff. You could be sitting there, I mean,
I've like received warnings, which sounds scary, and crazy,
but then it could be a different situation that like you could be like on the side of the road injecting heroin, and a car could drive by and a song could be like, yeah, get that heroin or something, and you're like, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be.
I don't know. I don't know if it could be where you're supposed to be on a certain path or something. I don't know.
Maybe that's how whenever you're in sync with it, because there's so many people that don't notice that kind of stuff. Because like because the thing that I get about that I see is like you see some people and they just look miserable. You know what I mean? They're just like, and it's like, and the thing about it is like, if
who
you're
looks
happy,
miserable?
Just people who are in general, like not everybody, but just people like you see the lady at the somewhere and she's got like 8 kids and she's running around, she's like having to yell at and get off, and she just looks defeated. And it's not so much just because of kids, because I mean kids are tough, but I know people who have like 10 kids and they're the happiest because that's what they want to do. That's where they want to be at. And it's not just that, or like people like in dead end jobs and they complain, they hate their jobs, they hate what's going on, and they're just miserable. And it's just like, okay, so what decision are you doing it because you have to live, they have to do that, are you existing, or like what kind of stuff, what brings you to that part to where it's just like, okay, what's stopping you from doing what you really want to do?
That's another thing that I've been trying to watch enlightening information and not just scroll through random shit as much. And like today I watched a interview that was like talking about that, and it's like human beings are not meant to just grind away and be machines. Like
because
our lives don't exist for that, to just go to work for a mundane reason, and people celebrate it, which is kind of backwards. It's like, congrats, you unemployment's at the lowest thing. Like that was what they said in the thing today. It's like, that just means everyone's doing some shit they don't want to do. Is that really a good thing? Like, it's good that people have something to focus on, but when they're miserable, like you said, and just feel stuck, they need to realize that you can change any moment like a light switch.
Because that's where you could think
do whatever you want. And we do need,
or like if that's where they're supposed to be.
I think we're approaching a place in a time where those types of jobs are unfortunately going to become automated. Like you don't need people just like running a register, or you see like machines. I'm just saying like just basic jobs. Like it's gonna all be just kind of automated.
And that's what's going, because it's still got that. I think it's.
I don't know if that's good or bad. Is that going to open opportunities for people, or is it just going to create more poverty because people are still lost?
It's too early in the generation. There's too many people that rely on people. Like they gotta wait, like at least wait another 20 or so years waiting for those older people.
It's coming quick, dude.
Because even me at 33, I get frustrated because like I said, I don't like to use those apps. I'd rather talk to a person. You go to the self-checkout.
People are so detached.
How often are you having to wait in line behind an older person at a self-checkout because they don't understand, because they're like, what's going on? I just want a person. And then like at the end of the day, there still has to be a person helping them out and still having to be there because they're struggling. Like if they would have waited a little bit and let that to be where everything's machines and everything's robots. But
it's brand new, dude. Like in the big picture. In 10 years, that's going to be normal.
See, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I think it's
cars
too early
are going to drive themselves. I think in 10 years, most cars will drive themselves, bro.
Shit, man, I'll still be rocking.
Think about it, dude. 10 years ago, we're on iPhone 12, so it's been 12, 13 years. How used to having that are we? Like, an iPhone or an Android. Everything we do, we rely on this shit. This is being implemented, and it's growing fast, dude. And 10 years feels like a long time to us, but, dude, it's like, dude, in 10 more years, it's going to be something we can't even think of right now.
They're going to have robots like, and do you think it's going to be like that, like with
totally, dude.
Like, I don't know. I just picture it like not so much like the Jetsons.
I don't know how deep we want to go, but I think that people worry about robots and Jetsons and all that, but I think we are the AI.
Can you imagine thinking? I can see that.
And I think there's like, it's crazy and conspiracy and whatever. I don't care how I sound, but like the powers that be that kind of run the show, like we are literally becoming more and more reliant on our devices. We just follow when we drive. Like someone the other day, they were like, I can't even drive without my GPS in my own city. Like,
I do that in Tulsa sometimes. Like it's not even that huge.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you just automate, you're automated. You follow the blue line on your screen. Like it's, my truck people don't realize how much of cyborgs we already are.
Yeah.
And they're just going to try to implement it more and more and more, and it's going to get weird, dude.
I just hope that whenever all this stuff happens, they make a damn printer that works right, man. That's
printers never work, dude.
You think in the future they're going to get that fixed?
Nope. Printers will never work. They're going to
stay the exact same, dude. They piss me off, bro, no matter what.
Printers just don't work.
I even bought a fancy one to try to, I put a little extra money. Still, no, always having a problem.
You know what pisses me off? Every time I go to a print shop, no one knows how to use printers.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, how did you get the job here, dude?
Yeah. Like, they got to do something.
Mad. I posted a tweet about that the other day. You think the first requirement of working at like a print FedEx UPS store would be like how to use a printer?
Yeah. Do you know how to use?
They don't know how.
Yeah. No. That's. Yeah. No. I completely. Well, that's another podcast. We'll do a whole one.
Yeah, dude. You want to wrap this one up?
Yeah, dude.
Episode 3. What's up, podcast?
Yeah, definitely.
Hit that like. Hit that subscribe.
Give us a call. We've been getting some.
Oh yeah, we didn't play any voicemails, but we got a couple voicemails, so keep them coming.
Yeah.
We'll put the voicemail number right here on the screen.
Yeah.
Give us a call.
And everybody who's been contacting us and coming up to us, talking about loving it, it's amazing.
Yeah, thank you guys for the support so far. We already hit 200 subscribers. So.
Yes, dude. Tell everybody you know. Tell them to get on and deep think and not deep fake at all. Don't do that. That's not good. We'll talk about that too another time, dude. There's so much. There's so many.
So much.
I think we're 3 going on.
Yeah, just keep it going. Well, anyway, peace and love, guys.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.